Hi, this is Raman Gill. Welcome to episode 22 of the 10,000 Trades Show, where we are mastering trading and creating excellence through the deliberate practice and analysis of 10,000 trades. In this episode, we will look at another trend trade. This is trading the trend line. We will take a look at how to draw your trend lines, what does it mean to trade the trend line, again, where you enter the trade, where the stop loss needs to go, and most importantly, like always, where do you exit the trade with a profit? Let's go on to the charts now.
Here we are looking at trendline trades. This is the Euro US dollar 1 hour chart. We have our trend line drawn here. As you can see, the price is moving lower, and each time the price goes into this trend line, we have a reaction to it. So the trend line is coming from back there. So at this point, our chart is quite squished, and the reason it is because I just wanted to show you the various trades that are available along the trend line. So when you have a trending market, you can draw your trend line. In this case, we have a downtrend. So every time the price comes into our trend line, we see a drop. Here we have a pin bar right into the trend line, and then we have an engulfing candle giving us a evening star formation. So we wait for 50% pullback on this, and that's where we enter the trade. So we go short here. Our stop goes above our trend line. So make sure you have some room there for trade to breathe. So it needs to be above the pin bar and above the trend line there, and we enter short. So we stay in the trade till we see that this trade has stopped moving. So here it's not really going any lower. We have pushed down slightly lower, but then we get rejected again, and here we have a support and resistance. So prices come into support and resistance level and is pushing higher, so we can exit the trade at this point, and our trade is done. We have 50 pips in this trade. Here is another entry that becomes available to us. We see that the trend line is coming down here. We see another pin right into the trend line. So we wait for 50% pullback, or you can wait for this candle to form and then look for 50% pullback. Either way, it's fine. Our stop goes above this level here, above the pin and above the trend line, and our entry is here on 50% pullback. And then we stay in the trade as long as the trade is below this trend line. We just stay in it and we go with it till we see this reversal signal here, this pin in the opposite direction. This is a bullish pin bar, so we exit our trade right after this candle closes. In this trade, we have 80 pips. So as we move along, the trend is still continuing. We go back into the trend line, gets rejected. This one would be hard to trade right here because it looks like it's a news candle. It's just one candle, and there's no real entry in this one. So the next entry we will find will be in this candle here. So we see price goes up, gives us a wick and a nice engulfing candle. So we are looking for a bit of a pullback here, 50%, and we enter the trade short. Our stop goes as always above the trend line here and above the pin, and we stay in this trade as long as the price is moving lower here. We stay with it till we start to get this reversal signal. Here we have big huge engulfing candle in the opposite direction. This is the real first big candle we have seen. So once we get this, we exit the trade. So in this trade, from entry to exit, we have 95 pips. Overall, in all these trades combined together, we have profit of 225 pips, or $2,250 if we are trading a one standard lot. So just to reiterate, here we would have a trend line as the price is moving lower. This trend line is actually coming from a daily chart, so it's a very important trend line. We draw our trend line, then we wait for the price to go into our trend line and reject the trend. So you don't want to be trading this as the price is going into it. We need to make sure we see a bounce off of the trend line. Once we see a bounce off of the trend line, we look for a place to enter. In this case, we see a pin bar and we see a reversal candle, so we can take 50% pullback here. So this is the first entry and exit once we see some sort of reversal. So 50 pips here. Again, another pin here. You can just enter on 50% pullback, or you can wait for this candle to close and then enter on 50% pullback. Either one's fine. Just make sure your stop is on the other side of the trend line and above the high here as well. So you're protecting your stop and you are giving your trade some time to breathe. So that's what we have here. We exit once we see this reversal pin bar in the opposite direction. So we have 80 pips in this trade, and here again we see a bounce off of the trend line. In this case, we see a bounce off of the trend line here. However, based on this 1 hour chart, we don't have an entry here. But here we see price go into the trend line and then reverse. So we do have an entry here because we have a nice engulfing candle. We can enter on 50% pullback, stop goes above here, and we exit once we get a reversal signal. So there's a pin here and we have a bullish candle here. So that's our signal for exit. So overall, all of these trades combined, we are looking at 225 pips. And the profit is $2,250 based on one standard lot.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If you'd like to see more episodes like this, please like, comment, and subscribe below. I hope you enjoyed this trade. I look forward to sharing more with you in the next episode.